You're welcome again. Everybody, you are my people, but a Manchester United fan always say that I don't belong to them, but I hope they embrace me because we're about to talk about Manchester United. All right, I won't ask you what is wrong with Manchester United because every one of us know that something is wrong with them, but there's nothing actually wrong with them. We all know what is wrong with them. That's what I mean. Their owners, they haven't done well since. In fact, if you want to trace what is happening with Manchester United, we have to go back as far back as um, 12, 13 years ago, during the end of, towards the end of Alex Ferguson, or so let's say 15 years ago, right? They didn't replace the guys that were getting old. They didn't replace them. They were just driven by a result and looking at leveraging on the tactical acumen of Sir Alex Ferguson. The man could get result. I mean, he could just get the result. He's a man that used 8 defenders in his lineup and still beat Arsenal. I mean, give it to the man. Give it to the man. And at the end of the day, he signed Robin van Persie from Arsenal, and he won the league with that. And at the end, Robin van Persie, he was getting old. He was phased out. And following after Ferguson's retirement, we have David Moyes came in, and from that place onward, Manchester United has been up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and they've not been able to solve it. Now, part of their problem is their owners, the Glazer family. They didn't invest into Manchester United as much as they should. For example, if you compare Manchester United to their rival, their city rival like Manchester City, or you compare them to Chelsea in the era of Roman Abramovich. In fact, Todd Bowley and Clearly Capital, they invested a lot in Chelsea. I mean, they spent a billion plus buying players, and you look at Manchester City, these guys spend money. Even Abramovich spent money. The same is not true for Glazers. Although we need to put a disclaimer there, because during this time too, Manchester United bought Pogba, they bought Di Maria, they bought I think Sanchez from Arsenal was a swap deal. They bought Santo, they bought Mason Mount. I mean, you can name all the players they bought, and they put these guys on high wages. So you can't say the owners did investing, but I think what they chose to invest in, the kind of players they buy, the wages they put this guy on was too much. So at one point, the owners kept on taking money out of the system without adequate replacement. And each time the fans now maybe try to say, oh, protest, Glazer out, and they try to invest, they tend to buy the wrong guys. They buy wrong players. So that's one problem with Manchester United, and this problem has persisted for many, many, many years. Look at Jadon Sancho. They bought the guy from Borussia Dortmund. Now Jadon Sancho is now an expensive problem for them. He's at Chelsea, and now Chelsea are looking at terminating their obligation to buy him, and they will now return it for him to Manchester United on a huge way. Mason Mount has not yet justified why Manchester United will pay around 58 million euro, 58 million pounds for him, and he only has 1 year left on his contract. He has been injured for a lot of time. And look at Andre Onana too. So their recruitment has not been very, very, very great. Now let's just fast forward to the era of Ruben Amorim. Actually, we can't tell what Ruben Amorim will be able to do, but I think Ruben Amorim might likely turn out to be another Gary Porter. Porter came to Chelsea at a time when they were not very stable. The new owner just came in, changing a lot of stuff, buying players anyhow. At the end of the day, Porter, that was like some kind of a good coach from Brighton, ended up being a very bad coach. Thank God he's at West Ham now. Now, Ruben Amorim, we don't know what he's capable of. He didn't win the Europa League. Sorry for him, and they have been losing. I think they've lost 22 matches or 21 matches this season alone. I mean, that's just a big loss. Now, whether he will continue next season, the report we have is that the owners backed him to continue. Now, whether he is going to succeed in that role depends on what Manchester United buy again and how they are able to sell their dead wood. If they can buy the right player for the guy, and look at it, they were supposed to sack Ten Hag last season. Every one of us expected them to sack him in the summer, but because Ten Hag won the FA Cup, they withdraw. They didn't sack him. Now, after like 3 months into the season, they sacked him. Now got a man midway to the season. Every one of us know that it's going to be brutal, except he wants to be a Di Matteo, and he couldn't be a Di Matteo by winning the Champions League, by winning the Europa League. So on the one hand, we have owners. On the middle, we have poor recruitment, and at the other end, we have a manager that has not proven himself at Manchester United. He was at Sporting doing good, but at Manchester United, he has not really proven himself. I mean, he has his point per game is closer to that Derby manager that has the worst in Premier League history. It's even lower than the Derby manager at the time when Derby had the worst point per game in Premier League history. So, what is the way forward for Manchester United? I don't think they should sack Ruben Amorim. Sacking Ruben Amorim is like repeating the circle again. I mean, they can't sack him. Give him a full season. Although this is highly arguable. You can't give him a full season. I believe between August and December, if things doesn't change, he's going to be sacked. And they are going to look for another manager again and going to start from all over again. So before that, and that's why the Europa League really hurt them, because it hurt their finances. Now they have to pay £10 million to Adidas because they failed to qualify for the Europa League. The money, the revenue they should generate from Champions League, and because they failed to qualify for the Champions League, the money they should generate, the revenue they should generate from qualifying to Champions League, they wouldn't get it, and now they are not in any European competition for next season. So their finances that were already tight, the co-owner was already sacking a lot of guys, and we are hearing now that more guys are said to be sacked. That is just a brief about Manchester United. We are going to cover Manchester United a lot all over the summer. The Premier League season has already ended, and we're going to cover them and much more club. We look at all of those top six clubs, where they are, what they need, because even Manchester City are struggling. We look at Arsenal, and this is the sixth year of Arteta, right? And he has not won any trophy. What does the future hold for him? What should he do? And Liverpool just won the Premier League, and of course, if they don't improve well, if they don't recruit well this summer, it will be like a dream to them. It will be like a dream to them, because um, that's just bad. We look at them. Then we look at Chelsea. They've spent a billion plus, and what does the future hold? We look at Tottenham, and yeah, of course, we'll look at Manchester United one more time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to our channel.